I wanted my evenings to feel like a break, a space that was mine. I would plan to relax and recharge, but most nights I would end up either lost in my phone or stressing about what I didn't get done. Most nights would just slip away, leaving me more drained than rested. And for a long time, I thought that I needed a stricter routine. But honestly, that only made me feel worse. What helped instead was giving myself the permission to keep my evenings simple, calm, and flexible. And it all started with understanding why evenings disappear so easily. Most of us fall in the same cycle on regular basis. After work is over, our brains are so tired making so many decisions, whether they are big or small. So the brain craves for the easiest no brainer option, and which is obviously these days our smartphones. On our smartphones, every app, social media, and even notifications are designed to give tiny bursts of dopamine. Dopamine, which is often called as feel good hormone, which is a reward chemical. That means this hormone gets released when we get a reward. Scrolling on your phone and watching the videos one after another feels like little wins. And as dopamine hits, we start feeling good and we do that even more. And this way, we get stuck in the vicious loop, which is often called as variable reward cycle. What we see is unpredictable because we don't know after the scroll what video will come on the feed, whether it's entertaining, educational, inspirational, or something else. We don't even know. That's unpredictable. And you know what? This unpredictability is really powerful. And this is the same exact principle that's used behind the addictivity of slot machines. Slot machines are games where you put your money, press the button, and hope for certain combinations line up to win the prize. And here, what's happening is when you press the button, you don't even know what combinations will appear on the screen. It's totally unpredictable. Wins or near wins trigger the dopamine, and that's why people keep playing. And even when people lose, brain craves for the next dopamine hit. It starts thinking that maybe next time win. And this is a very powerful loop. And that's why unpredictability is really powerful. And this is the exact same thing that's happening on our smartphones, especially when we scroll. Every scroll, notifications, likes or comments on your photos or post feel like little wins. And then we get the dopamine hits. We start feeling good. We feel like that we are being rewarded, and the brain keeps chasing it. And that's why I created a free 5-day digital detox challenge to help you reclaim more time for the things that actually matter to you and create a space for more fulfilling life. And by the way, it's not about quitting social media or giving up your phone, but about gently shifting the balance so your evenings don't disappear into endless scrolling. Each day, you will get one simple task delivered straight to your inbox, and you can join it absolutely free. The link is in the description box below. Before sharing the framework behind the gentle evening flow that I created for myself, I must say that I was wasting my evening time. Whenever I tried to do multiple tasks in one evening, I failed because this never felt good. It feels like torturing and punishing myself. And when I try to do nothing, what I do is, I think you guessed it, in this case, I just grabbed my phone and started scrolling this and that, or sometimes maybe watching a few videos, just randomly picking any, not really knowing what I wanted to. And suddenly it's 9 p.m., the evening is already over. Now you have to prep to go to bed. And this way, what happened is there was no real rest. I was straining my eyes because my work is primarily screen based. So I am watching the screen again. For work, I was sitting, and after work, I was sitting again. So, no or very little activity. When I had this kind of strolling habit, my brain didn't know when to stop. It didn't know what I even want to watch. It just randomly picks this or that. And this way, I felt completely scattered. And after I put my phone, I used to feel even more tired with no energy left. That means what I thought as rest was actually taking up my energy and time. I still use phone for maybe learning or entertainment, but what I now do is using the phone for a fixed time slot. And this way, my brain knows when to stop. What I have been experimenting since maybe a month or two is giving a small flexible structure to my evenings. And this gives me choice, not restriction. And where the step number one is drop the mental load. After the work is over, the little voice inside us keeps us telling, I could have done more today. And this happens to me often. I just used to think that I didn't do this task. These are still pending. And I'm telling you that it's a never ending loop. This is never gonna happen that you have no task to do. So, in this step, what you have to do is drop the mental load. So, the first thing is learn to be okay with what you did at the end of your workday. Otherwise, you can't get at ease and you get stuck in the same thoughts. I'm telling you from my experience, I just kept thinking that I could have done this today. These are still pending and just beating myself inside. And this will never let you rest. The second thing is don't keep too many things in your head. You don't need to clutter your brain with what you have to do or what are pending. You can simply jot down whatever task come in your mind. You can simply use a notebook and pen or can use digital apps like Notion, Asana or any other app, whatever you prefer. So now that you have cleared your mental clutter, and now it's time for the next step. So, coming to the step number two, which is creating a tiny highlight for the evening. And this is one of the most significant changes I have made recently that helped me to add a bit of structure to my evenings. If I look back at the previous me, how I used to spend the evening hours, I find that there was no structure at all. So, most evenings, I was just wasting my evening hours or doing things very randomly. If I felt tired after work, then I used to sleep during the evening hours. Otherwise, do the things from my to do list very, very chaotically. And if I wasn't doing any of this, you guessed it, I was just scrolling or using my phone randomly. And then suddenly realizing that so much time is gone. This structure started working when I had a simple mindset shift, which is a good evening doesn't have to be productive. And by productive, I mean that I don't need to get more and more done in less time. And getting more done in less time is kind of hustle culture. And I'm not a fan of this hustle culture. I just needed a bit of structure so that I don't waste my evening hours because my brain doesn't know anything what to do. So this mindset shift helped me thinking my evenings a bit differently. And this is nothing but giving my evening one spark of joy or meaning so it doesn't feel wasted, and which I like to call as tiny highlight for the evening. Try to give your evening just one small highlight. And how it helped me completing this highlight makes me feel good because it adds the sense of accomplishment. That's why I start feeling good. Also, this one tiny highlight makes me feel that I have utilized the evening hours. And you can also think of it as one little gift to yourself that adds some meaning, some joy to your evening. You can also think of this as something that makes tonight feel special and different. And the key to choose the tiny highlight is it's flexible. That means it doesn't belong to my structured routine. So it can change daily. It's not fixed and it depends on my mood and circumstances. Now, let me give you some quick examples. It could be watching your comfort show or a YouTube video or a movie. It could also be cooking your favorite meal or trying a different recipe or enjoying your favorite food. If you are a pet parent, then it could also be cuddling or
playing with your furry baby. If you are an animal lover, then it could be helping the animals, stepping outside to feed them, or care for one who needs you. It could also be spending quality time with your family and friends, like talking, watching a show together, or sharing your dinner mindfully, or maybe playing a board game. If you want to spend your time solo, then it could be as simple as listening to a cozy playlist, audio story, or podcast while tidying up, or just a simple walk. If you want to spend time alone, you could also sit and observe nature. All these are little joys or meaningful events that you can add as tiny highlight for the evening. It can change the vibe of your evening hours, how you feel. Plus, it's not a structured routine. You can rotate between what you like to do. It changes depending upon your mood and your circumstantial situations. And here is the pro tip for you: you don't need multiple highlights for one evening, because that will make the evening look chaotic. We want to add the tiny highlight for the evening to make it feel special or meaningful in some way. That's kind of a little gift or treat to yourself. So start with just one. Don't make it chaotic anyway. You can also rotate the highlights throughout the week that you like to do. Example, Sunday could be an extensive skincare pamper evening. On Monday, you could add evening stretch as your evening highlight. On Thursday, you might try a new recipe if you love cooking. This way, you can rotate the highlights so it doesn't feel monotonous and adds that little spark of joy inside you during the evening hours. And once I had that in one place, it became much more easier to add in some gentle rituals, which are nothing but small, repeatable things that help me wind down and actually makes me feel rested during the evening. And this brings me to my next step, which is gentle rituals that fill you up. So now you have already set a highlight for the evening, and now it's time to add a few gentle rituals to your evening that feel like recharging you. If I don't do this, I will get back to my old self where there was no structure in my evenings, and I would spend the evening scrolling this and that, watching random videos, and suddenly realizing that the evening hours are over. And when I did that, self care felt like another chore. As a result, at the end of the evenings, I felt even more drained with no energy left. So, what I did this time is adding a few gentle rituals to my evening that doesn't feel like another task, and it should be easily repeatable on every evening and something that's working on myself. And this tip gives the brain the signal that workday is over and now it's time to restore. In this step, you have to choose repeatable anchors, and while choosing them, remember that they should be calming, relaxing, grounding, and easily repeatable most nights. And the key is to choose the rituals that are not very long or complicated. You don't need to do every ritual at once, and it's okay if you don't do all of them every night. You can keep some separate rituals that you must do every night. It could be as simple as brushing your teeth, doing your nighttime skincare routine, or maybe your evening tea. It could be anything. It could be meditation, guided meditation, or simple breathing, stretching, or gentle yoga to release tension. It could be journaling, writing your thoughts, gratitude, maybe what went well today. It could also be as simple as quick tidy up ritual. Could be blanket, dishes, your workspace. Skincare routine done mindfully, reading a few pages of a book. You can also dim the lights and play some calming music to signal your brain that it's time to wind down. The ritual could also be related to your phone, maybe listening to audio story, podcast, watching a YouTube video, or maybe your comfort show. But the key here is adding phone boundaries, because the phone can disguise itself as rest, but it isn't. Without a time boundary, it can turn into mindless scrolling even without realizing, and spending your precious time doing nothing that truly matters in your life. And if you feel like your phone is stealing your evenings too, I've created a free 5-day digital detox challenge that might help you. It's super gentle, nothing extreme. Each day gives you one simple step to reset your screen habits, feel less drained from scrolling, and be more present in your life. And I will leave the link in the description box and the pinned comment section below if you'd like to try it. So now I have already discussed the framework to give your evenings a bit of structure. I want you to visualize how it could look like so that you can try and customize your evenings on your own. Now imagine your evening having a tiny highlight and a few simple, gentle rituals. And that's how I started shaping my evenings into different moods depending on what I needed that evening. Whether I was tired, or maybe I just want to be creative, or maybe I want to connect. And to make a customized evening routine, we need to really know our energy and mood, and of course, the circumstances. We often keep thinking that some evenings I just don't know what to do with myself. I just feel stuck. Or I want my evenings to be meaningful, but I don't know what really feeds my energy. So I changed my mindset a little bit. I started thinking this way, that I'm not a robot or machine that I can repeat the same thing again and again. I'm a human, and every day is different to me. How would I spend the evening hours depends on my energy, mood, and circumstances. And I am free to decide that. Now, coming to the next part, which is quick 2-minute reset. Why would I like to add this part? Is because I know, in spite of all the planning, adding framework, it might not go as planned. And it's sometimes really hard to slow down and rest. On some days, the day doesn't go as planned. It could feel really hectic because of sudden changes, something important came, and that way we don't have any energy left inside. So we keep feeling stuck and we don't know what to do. We can't get into ease. And that's why I really love having something which is really quick and no brainer, that literally takes 2 minutes to do. You could think it like a little cheat sheet for the days that didn't go as planned. And it's nothing but the breathing word. You have to simply focus on your breathing, closing your eyes. It simply helps calm down our nervous system, and that's how we can get into ease again. Another thing that I like to do these evenings is chanting mantra or listening to it, which is really powerful. You can do your own rituals. Trust me, it's going to help calm your nervous system. Obviously, you can do it for longer if you want to, but doing it for just 2 minutes will also help. Of course, with the best routines and ideas, not every evening goes as planned, and that's absolutely normal. And these are the common scenarios that happen. One is some nights I just can't, and then I feel guilty of not doing anything. Work ran late, or I had social plans, and now the evenings feel like wasted. And in these scenarios, what can you do is having a simple mindset shift. All of these are okay because these are parts of the real life. Things always don't go as planned. So these are all the shifts that have really helped me reshape my evenings. And the best part is you don't need to do them all at once. Even one tiny step can make a difference. And if your phone is what's stealing most of your evenings, then I would love for you to join my free 5-day digital detox challenge. It's 5 days of simple calming steps to spend your less time scrolling and more time actually enjoying your evenings. And you will find the link in the description box and the pinned comment section below. And if you'd like more ideas for your evenings without your phone, then check this video on 5 self-care activities I do instead of mindless scrolling, which will be right here on your screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you there.